Well, good evening and welcome to Everton Live and welcome to Goodison Park for tonight's FA Cup fourth round fixture against Sheffield Wednesday. My name's Rich Wolfenden. We've got a full show packed for you tonight, and as always we'll be joined by a special guest. But before we introduce him, Sarah Halpin's with us once more. How are you, Sarah?
I'm very well, thank you, Rich. As ever, delighted to be in this beautiful stadium despite the cold. FA Cup game at Goodison under the lights doesn't get much better, does it?
Another freezing cold night. Again, 4 layers for me tonight. How many layers are you on?
Trousers 3. Probably 3 or 4 up top as well, but listen, you've got to be prepared, haven't you?
Yeah.
We come prepared to these things now. We've learned our lessons.
Yeah, professionally snug on this show. That's what we are. So tonight, Sheffield Wednesday, the opponents, they're struggling down the bottom end of the Championship. They had a points deduction at the start of the season, so that's arguably why they're down there. But it's a chance for them to come up against Everton today, who are doing pretty well in the Premier League. Is this a side who we should be worried against today?
Well, I think, you've only got to cast your mind back to a few weeks ago when we played Rotherham United in the third round here, and it was a really tough game, and at times, you're watching it and you're thinking, ultimately you felt that Everton would have the quality to go through, but I think when Decore slotted that goal home, we all breathed a sigh of relief, didn't we? So, especially given the Chenkov side and stuff, and it shows how tough, lower league opposition can be. This is the FA Cup. I still absolutely love the FA Cup. It's my favourite competition. It is magic, and I think, anything can happen. So we have to be on our best tonight to make sure that we get through, and of course a club that we've got rich history with in this competition as well, so really looking forward to it, but hopefully we'll see ourselves through to the fourth round as well. Yeah,
well, kick-off is 8 o'clock. If we win tonight, we have another home tie in the FA Cup fifth round against Tottenham. Before we get to that, we've got lots to come up. This is exactly what you can expect on tonight's show, so we will have footage of the players arriving very shortly for you, and then team news as always, an hour before kick-off. We'll have it before everybody else. We say that, but I think everyone gets it an hour before kick-off, but it's our advantage, why not? And then we'll have highlights of the game which got us into this round, highlights of when we last played Sheffield Wednesday in the FA Cup. We'll then have some more content which you saw on the Everton YouTube channel before seeing the latest highlights from Everton's women's side, who are flying against Bristol City. We'll then be having a look back at one of our more famed players, Bob Latchford, before hearing from Carlo Ancelotti, and then of course kick-off 8 o'clock, evertonfc.com for the full match commentary for you there. And of course we will have a special guest coming very, very shortly. Any questions into Ronnie Goodlass, get on Twitter, use hashtag EvertonLive, and Sarah will be asking questions over to him. So Sarah, last time out it was Wolves away. What a great win that was. It was a tough game from the off, but we delivered 3 points.
Fantastic, and another win away from home for Carlo Ancelotti and Everton. Fantastic, to go ahead. Wolves get the equaliser, but you always felt that moment of quality was going to come, and it did through big Michael Keane. Absolutely delighted.
What a season he's having.
Oh, just fantastic. And I've got to say as well to Everton's admin, I think that song that we saw that was trending with Big Mickey Kegger was fantastic. Delighted for him, and another huge win in the league for Everton.
Yeah, a brilliant win in the league. Well, hopefully we can get a brilliant win in the Cup. Now, tonight's guest, we've got him on loan, actually, from BBC Radio Merseyside. You probably recognise him from playing on the pitch. If not, you'll recognise him from the local radio.
Devonshire. Oh, he didn't quite clear Latchford. And now a good run now for Goodlass. Oh, when he's seen... Oh, and it's a goal! What brilliant thinking there by Ronnie Goodlass. One out of the blue, and showed that the fella was thinking all the time. It was Latchford who put him on. He stopped and looked up, saw Mervyn Day was a good 7 yards off his line, and from 40 yards lobbed it over his head.
So, Ronnie, tell me about that goal, please. West Ham.
It wasn't a miss, Rich. It's lovely when I bump into Evertonians. Obviously, even West Ham supporters always, say about the goal. I mean, it's happened since, but at the time, I don't think anyone had done it. I think Pelly. I'm not comparing myself with Pelly,
right? No,
but didn't attempt it, so it could have ended up in Rose Ed. We went in, and on that day, actually, Red Rum won. Andy King didn't play. King, he was in the stand, so we got a double that day, which was Red Rum and obviously me scoring the West Ham goal. Mervyn Day has never forgiven me, but it's always good to see, as I say, and supporters talk about it, which is lovely, and great to sort of get a goal like that playing for Everton Football Club.
Well, we'd love to have you on loan here tonight. Some great memories playing here. FA Cup tonight is the occasion. What do you reckon Carlo Ancelotti's priorities are this season? Do you reckon the FA Cup might fall above the Premier League at the moment?
Well, I think we've got to. I mean, we keep saying about it's been so long. It was at the final, 95, obviously, when we beat Man United. But for a club like ours, it's far too long. I love the FA Cup. Evertonians love the FA Cup. You know, recent sort of anniversary where Eddie Cavani ran on the pitch. I was actually, you know, at the game with my dad and my granddad, and we were getting beat 2-0 and you win 3-2. Doesn't get much better.
No.
I mean, we love Everton, you know, win, lose or draw, but that really cemented, you know, Everton Football Club to me. The memories are fantastic. It's always great, the FA Cup. I still think it's, you know, you look at Chorley, you look at Marine and all these, and even Man City last night, and then ourselves going tonight against Sheffield Wednesday. You know, Sarah's just said that about, you know, Rotherham. You know, Rotherham played well, you know, that day. Well. And again, you can't take nothing for granted. FA Cup's the FA Cup. You only get one chance, and you've got to, you know, be at your best. But obviously, if we get through tonight, you know, we won't get too far out of ourselves. We've got to beat, you know, a decent Sheffield Wednesday side. And again, take it seriously and be professional about it. And let's get through to play that game against Tottenham.
Yeah. Well, Sheffield Wednesday, they had a difficult start to the season. They're actually unbeaten in their last 5 in the Championship and the FA Cup. Has Carlo Ancelotti got to be careful here when he's dropping first-team players? Because presumably he'll give other players an opportunity today. Well,
it is. He's got to shuffle the pack, to be honest with you. I mean, it's like with anything. You've got to keep players happy. You've got to keep them match fit, not just fit at Finch Farm. You've got to be game time. And that's what you've got to do. But you've got to juggle. You've got to juggle right. You know, you can put any team out and win, and you've got it right. You put a team out and get beat, and it's all against the manager. He hasn't done too much wrong, has he, since he's been here? I think he's had a fabulous 12 months, and obviously onwards and upwards, hopefully. But tonight again, got to be professional. I'd keep saying, you know, a good cup run keeps the season ticking over anyway, and it's in form. You know, you're winning football matches, and there's nothing better under for the likes of Goodison. I know supporters aren't here, but you know, I love coming here any time I come here, whether it's being, you know, as a supporter or working for the BBC. But again, like tonight, let's get an Everton win and hopefully play against you know, against Tottenham. But maybe I'm doing a disservice to Wickham. Wickham might beat them tomorrow.
It could happen.
So it could happen. It's the FA Cup. But hopefully, as I say, we'll get the job done tonight.
Yeah, so we actually played Sheffield Wednesday a few years back in the Carabao Cup, I think it was, and we beat them at their place. Calvert-Lewin scored 2 goals, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because it was so recent, do you reckon that will play on the players' minds a little bit that, we've done them a couple of years ago, we could probably do them again tonight?
Well, it was at the game. You've got to think that way. And sometimes against Sheffield Wednesday or certain teams, you know, you like playing against them. You know, you've got Calvert-Lewin obviously being Sheffield United as well. It's a bit like us against the team across the park. You know, you love beating them, and it's something again tonight where he's been out. He's had a fabulous season. I mean, Dominic's done really well. You know, for me, you know, and other players have really stood up to the plate and really put themselves forward. But I think he's improved immensely. And again tonight, you want to score goals. You want to do the best for the team. And hopefully he'll play well tonight and get on the score sheet again.
Yeah, do you reckon he'll start tonight? Because he's been out injured of late. He missed the Wolves game.
Well, hopefully he will. Whether he'll play him against Leicester, because maybe Dean and a few others will be missing for that. And again, they may not have played anyway. You know, he might be saying to Calvert-Lewin, we'll just rest this game and we'll have it for the Leicester game. But the next 2 games are massive. I mean, we've got to get through this game, get into the 5th round, and it puts us in good stead. You know, we had a fabulous unbeaten run, and you know, we're sort of playing hard to beat as well, which you've got to do in you know, if you're going to win silverware or you're going to get up the league table. But I think, as I say, tonight if we get into the 5th round, and then obviously Leicester coming in midweek, and we can beat them, you know, we're really back on track. We're in the pack anyway. And I mean, if Leicester are down as one of the title contenders, why aren't we? You know, we've had we don't moan about injuries and that way like other clubs. We just get on with it, and that's where it's a breath of fresh air since Carlo Ancelotti's been here. You know, he's been round the block a few times. Absolutely quality manager, and as I say, given the time, you know, sooner rather than later, he's getting players in that he wants to improve the club.
Yeah. So talking about Calvert-Lewin, the only other real recognised striker at the club is Cenk Tosun, and he scored against Rotherham. Do you reckon he'll probably just get the edge ahead of Calvert-Lewin tonight, with him being, you know, lacking match fitness?
Well, as you say, I think it'll be fitness levels. You know, he could play Cenk Tosun, put, you know, Dominic on the bench. But I think again, if you start thinking he's match fit, because I don't think Dean was. You know, Dean came back. You know, unbelievable the way he's come back from that injury. You know, that's what a good professional he is, and obviously the medical staff at the club are first class. But when you sort of look at players again, you know, strikers love scoring goals. You know, Cenk Tosun's going to be here. give him a game and let him start scoring. And the manager, as you say, hasn't got a lot to pick from. But I mean, again, it might push us where if you get somebody in, we'll have to wait to see. But as I say, certain players here, when you get your chance, you've got to take it. Yeah. And as you say tonight, whether you'll take a chance on, Calvert-Lewin or leave him for the Leicester game, we'll have to wait and see. But as I say, whoever he puts out, we've got to get the job done.
Yeah. The big question mark for me tonight is who's going to be a left back. We've got about 5 minutes till we get the team news, but Dean's out injured and Kunku's out injured. Do you reckon Godfrey? It's presumably got to be Godfrey because there's nobody else who could play there.
I think the only position he hasn't played is in goal, isn't it? Nobody's done great, Rich. I mean, again, as a player that come and got his chance because of an injury, he's took it. I don't know about it with both hands. He's took it with 2 feet and everything. I mean, I think he's been absolute quality. Credit to himself and the way he's come in and adapted. Everyone thinks that, the Championship, it's a step up, it's massive, which a lot of players it is, but he's come in and he looks like he's been here for 10 years. But I think he'll go left back. I think you're right there. It's a pity again for Nkuku. If players are out injured or rested, you want to be in that first 11 and play. But as I say, Carlo doesn't get much wrong. But as I say tonight, if it is Godfrey down there, he hasn't let the club down yet.
I've heard a lot of things, I've read a lot of things on Twitter, especially comparing Godfrey to Joleon Lescott, because when he first came to Everton, he was playing in at left back, and he was up and down that left hand side. Similar kind of build as well, tall centre back but he eventually became a centre back at Everton. Do you see Godfrey eventually being Michael Keane's centre back?
He'll definitely. I mean, I think most positions, especially striker and centre backs, is you have 4 top quality, centre halves. And when you look at Aldgate, then you've got Godfrey, and then you've got Mina and Keane. And then you look at left back with Dean, Godfrey can, chip in there, but Nkuku and a few others. That's the level you want to get to. And I just think, again, he's got everything. I mean, it's how good he wants to be. And as I say, if he stays clear of injury, he reads the game well, absolute athlete. And what I love about him is when he gets the ball, he'll run with it. If he sees a bit of grass, he'll get there, out the way, son, I'm coming through.
Like the mentality of a fullback,
just everything about it. And as I say, it lifts players. It lifts not just, there won't be supporters here to be watching on the television, but we'll be here. It lifts you. And it lifts other players in the team. You're thinking, where did he come from? Or he's just won another tackle. And I think he's done a tackle in the Park end. The Gladys Street end. Which, again, if the crowd was here, they'd be up on the feet. And that's what it's about, giving everything for the cause. And as I say, he's got extra quality as well.
Yeah. If you talk about the empty stadiums and that sort of thing, one player who's really kicked on since fans stopped coming to matches is Michael Keane. How impressive have you been by him over the past few months? He's been phenomenal, hasn't he?
Absolutely unbelievable. I think it's a different mentality, but I was talking with Sarah about it. I think he's the one who's come along with no crowd here. I mean, a lot of pressurised. You could see on his face. I mean, he was having a bad time. And all of a sudden, he looks exactly why we paid that money. He looks an absolute quality centre-half. And again, hopefully, it's not too far away when the crowds do come back. The supporters appreciate how good he is. And again, we want Everton to do well. I'm not saying every supporter has a go for no reason whatsoever. It's frustration. You want your team, it's your team, you want it to be the best. You want every player out there to give the best. And certainly now, everyone's raising the bar. And as I say, when you get signings that Ancelotti's got in, the 3 players he's got in, I've raised the squad level, the team level. Everyone else has got to raise their game, or hopefully you won't be at the club. And that's what we've got to do. But as I say, up to now, it's been tremendous.
How did you deal with getting grief from the fans when you were in the ground at the time?
Oh, I never used to get it, Rich.
No,
you do. You do. You're never going to play well all the time, but it's how you do it. And again, it's a character in yourself. You've got to go out there for the team and battle for the team, but you've got to have your own pride as well. You've got to go out and say, no one's going to point the finger at me when I walk in the dressing room at half time, or nobody's going to have a go at me for the lack of effort. And I think that's what it is. If you put it in, especially Evertonians will back you. But it's when you either drop your head, or you don't fancy a pass, or you don't want to run around, you don't want to join in, and you're a bit afraid to get the ball. You've got to do it, even when you're playing a bad game, and as you say, there's 50,000 or how many's here, that you sort of turn around and say, well, look, keep giving us the ball and I'll get it right. And as I say, to be in a club like Everton, we've won things. We have, throughout our history, been a top club, which we still are. But the big thing then, as I say, is to have players here that embrace it.
Sorry, I'm just going to interrupt you there because we have got the team news on the monitor down in front of us there. So Everton versus Sheffield Wednesday, 4th round of the FA Cup. Robin Olsen in goal today instead of Jordan Pickford. Mason Holgate makes it into the starting lineup as well. Richarlison gets a starting place. It'd be brilliant if they did this in the formation for us. That would give me a real benefit. Calvert-Lewin, he's presumably playing up front. Gylfi Sigurdsson, who kind of played that false 9 last week, plays once more. Yerry Mina, he'll presumably be playing at centre-back. Abdoulaye Doucouré brings the energy, scored that goal in extra time to see us through to this round of the FA Cup. James Rodriguez gets another start in the oldest cup competition in the world. Andre Gomez plays in midfield today. And Ben Godfrey, presumably, in at left-back. And Seamus Coleman, club captain number 23, in the side as always. And there's the bench. So for me, that looks like a back four. Coleman at right back with Holgate and Mina in defence with Ben Godfrey across the back. And there's the substitutes bench. Tyler Onyango and Thierry Small, 2 of the academy lads on the bench as well tonight. Incidentally, Thierry Small comes on. He'll be the youngest player to ever play for Everton in a competitive game. So could be history made here this evening. So what do you make of that lineup then? We'll see the Sheffield Wednesday lineup now as well. But let me just ask you about the Everton side then. So Calvert-Lewin starting today. Rodriguez, Richarlison. It seems to be pretty much a full-strength side, doesn't it?
Is this to play Sheffield Wednesday or Leicester? Say Ancelotti's took it serious and good on him. I mean, I'd go with the same. You know, it's a team that says we want to do well in this competition. We're going to win tonight, and they keep saying over the likes of Richarlison, get back scoring goals. You know, Calvert-Lewin's been out, get that partnership going again. You know, he wants to score. Can he finish with a golden boot at the end of the season? So again, you're looking at players coming in. One or two, you've got a game with the back four. All right, Michael Keane needs a rest. He's been tremendous this season, but it's still Mason Holgate coming in with Mina, and you've got Godfrey, and I think it's a strong team, and as I say, it shows you again how professional Carlo Ancelotti is by playing a strong team, and again not disrespecting Sheffield Wednesday. We've seen, and I've mentioned a couple of teams and ties before. It's never easy. You look at Wolves. A couple of chances that Surely had. I mean, we've got to go out there, and as I say, I'm glad it's a stronger a side as we could possibly put out, really.
Yeah, so Richarlison's, like you just mentioned there, he's not been in the greatest goal-scoring form this season. Obviously, most of the goal-scoring onus has fell on Calvert-Lewin. Will Richarlison be trying to catch him up? Because typically they've been kind of neck and neck for goals at the end of the season, haven't they?
Well, you've got to, but I think with Calvert-Lewin, he's in front. So I think that's why he's kicked on. Got a fabulous header at Tottenham, and he's thought, hang on, can I finish leading goal scorer? That's what you're doing. Again, it's like centre-halves, can we keep a clean sheet, or a keeper? And then Olsen comes in, and so Jordan Pickford says, well, hang on, he's kept a clean sheet, I've got to keep. So it's a little bit of banter, but it's for the good of the cause. And Richarlison, as night follows day, I want to score tonight. I mean, I just hope he can do a few assists, but again, it's getting that partnership going again. And if he's on it, Richarlison, as I say, and then you throw Calvert-Lewin in the mix, there's not better around, especially this season. But as you say with Richarlison, if you said to the two of them, hand on heart, do you want to finish leading goal scorer? The pair of them would say, of course I do. And that's what's good for the manager and supporters. If Calvert-Lewin can score tonight, can Richarlison get one? But I'm just glad it's a strong side.
Do you reckon Calvert-Lewin will be extra fired up for tonight's game? Obviously missing the Wolves game, and now he's up against Sheffield Wednesday, obviously the opposition to the side he used to play for. Well,
he's missed 3 games, and again, it's not the be all and end all. It's not being selfish, but he wants to score goals, so he's missed 3. From his childhood, obviously his big rival Sheffield Wednesday, because he's Sheffield United lad, and he was at the club at Sheffield, and I just think as I say tonight, it's there for you, but we've got to start playing again. It's like with anything. Win football matches, you all get confidence. If you're a striker, you want to score goals. That's confidence. Can Olsen, keep a clean sheet again. It's all, you've got to look at yourself personally, but as a team as well. And as I say tonight, hopefully we can get 2 or 3 goals tonight. As long as we get through. But then it puts you up with a lot of confidence then for the Leicester game. Leicester will be looking at this game, this evening, saying, well, what team has he put out and what are they like? And again, it puts doubt in their mind when they come in midweek.
Yeah, cheers, Ronnie. So if you've got any questions for Ronnie, you can send him a question by using the hashtag EvertonLive over on Twitter, and Sarah will ask Ronnie plenty of questions later on, and keep them nice and friendly and easy. Come on. So we're in this round because we managed to beat Rotherham United earlier on in January. This is exactly how it unfolded.
James Rodriguez almost caught in possession, recovers well. Does manage to find Anthony Gordon, who slips away from Ihekwe. Anthony Gordon for Everton. It's a great run by Gordon. Can he apply the finish at the second time of asking? He can't. Lucadine keeps it in play and puts a great delivery into the penalty area. Might come to Gomez here. Gomez just dragged wide. Shielding his eyes from the bright sunlight as Gordon gets an excellent ball through for Cenk Tosun, who clips it superbly home for Everton. What a finish from Cenk Tosun. And didn't he take it well? Wasn't it provided to him well? Here's Smith picking up for Rotherham. Release on the Sunday inside the penalty. It might break into his path. It does, and he scored. He's turned it home. Matthew Olasunde. Rotherham position themselves right on the edge of the 18-yard box. We need some quality here, and we've got it. Cenk Tosun with the finish. It is being checked by the video assistant referee Paul Tierney. So Cenk Tosun's goal has been ruled out. James Rodriguez. That's through for Decore. This is a chance, and Decore scores for Everton. That one won't be ruled out. That was a perfect through ball from James Rodriguez, and the perfect finish from Abdoulaye Decore. Left-hand side. And it goes first time from Nkunku. It breaks here for Bernard. He struck the post. That really would have sealed it. Here's Coleman. He's going to have a crack. And that is just wide from the Everton captain. Job done. But it took extra time to complete it. It's finished here at Goodison. Everton 2, Rotherham 1.
Yeah, so highlights there from Everton versus Rotherham in the previous round to see us through to tonight's fourth round fixture. Now, Ronnie, I think that just shows, doesn't it? It might not have been the prettiest game, it might not have been the best football that Everton have played this season. Nail-biting times at moments in the match, but we're through. That's the most important thing, isn't it? At those stages, just getting through to the next round.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen down the years, Sarah, where we've lost to lower league teams. I was at Shrewsbury and Port Vale and all them. I don't want to bring that up, but it's just a reminder. But it is, it's their cup final, literally.
Yes.
So Rotherham come here and give them the. I thought they played really good football.
They could have gone through, couldn't they? On a different day.
Definitely. I mean, Olsen made, I'd say, 3 really good saves, and then, as you say, to be professional and to do that, it doesn't matter how good or bad you play, you've got to be in the draw. Yeah. And that's what we've done. As I say, I mentioned after the game, it was a professional job, but it's a warning if you don't take everyone seriously. It's a bit like tonight, you've got to be totally professional. Don't think that, we're Everton, we're Goodison Park, little old Sheffield are coming here. I'm not them thought the same. Yeah. But I thought we, in the end, we were through. But as you say, a few scary moments where also made, as I say, really good saves. But as I say tonight, I just think with the side out, I mean, that's a strong lineup.
It's about as strong as we can put out, isn't it, Ronnie?
I think there's only Michael Keane missing, and it's the best. But as I say, with Carlo Ancelotti, that says to me that we can. Well, when I say we can go all the way, I don't want to put the guy on it, but I just think if we win tonight, and then we got Leicester at home, we can beat Leicester, we're back on track. We really are. I mean, as you've said, I haven't played the best football recently, but we've got results, and that's what football's all about. It's results-orientated game, isn't it?
It is results, and recently we've seen these 2-1s. Most recently in the league as well, 2-1 away at Spurs, and as you mentioned, then the game coming up against Leicester. So we've got games thick and fast at Goodison Park as well. Leicester, Newcastle in the league. So not only are we doing well in the cup competitions right now, but of course those 2 games at Goodison, where we're doing so well right now, if we win those 2, people are talking about your Liverpools, your Arsenals, the Chelseas, the Cities. We're used to that, but we are right up there, aren't we? Win those 2 games and
No, totally right. And again, I don't really want to say the name, but Sky News have been absolutely disgraceful, to be honest. That they've just totally discarded us. I mean, we can say we're under the radar and let do, but the lads deserve it. I mean, they've really done well. And as again, we had a little bit of a blip, for some games, but we've come back again bigger and stronger. But we're there. We're actually there. And as you've said, if you start throwing in the Leeds results, the Newcastle away, we've dropped points when we could have done a lot better.
Yeah.
But again, it's how you react after a defeat. Can we go on another 7-8 game unbeaten run? And that's the challenge for the players. But I think mentality-wise now we're getting stronger. I think with the squad it's getting better. I don't know if we get maybe a loan in before the transfer window closes. But the signs that we've got. The squad's much better than 12 months ago, and some of the position that the team are in, the way we're playing, and getting that sort of hard to beat side, and getting a mentality where you're thinking, if you come to Goodison or your players at your place, you've got to play well to beat us, and that's the mentality that Carlo Ancelotti is bringing to the club.
Absolutely spot on, Ronnie. Well, we have got a game to focus on back in the FA Cup tonight against Sheffield Wednesday, and a few of you might remember this one from a few years back in 1996 with a famous hat-trick from Kanchelskis. Let's throw it back.
Tony Grant, Kanchelskis, goes under those looping runs. That's a lovely little pass as well. Stewart. And McCatchy. Now anything could happen. He caught Pressman completely by surprise. Mistake of Luigi Minicki. Rising. Hurst. Oh, he's brought Sheffield Wednesday back into it. He's getting ready for the cricket season as well, by the looks of that celebration. So, what an opening 10 minutes to this game. Hardly time to breathe. And McCatchy again. Kanchelskis. Headroll! Oh, within seconds of the restart, Everton are back ahead. Right. Adventurous pass, but a beautiful pass. Kanchelskis. The man's on fire at the moment. In 21 minutes. Grant again, he's really having quite an effect in the centre of midfield. Kanchelskis is seeing the whites of the goalkeeper's eyes. He's a one-man demolition team, Andrei Kanchelskis. Flicked on, De Gruyter. Those line-out charges by David Unsworth. Kanchelskis a bit far out. He's going to have a try for his hat-trick. Oh, and he scored his hat-trick. Outrageous finishing.
What a player Kanchelskis was, and what a kit that was. One of my favourite kits, that, Ronnie, about the 90s away.
Absolutely fabulous. I was there, I was commentating on it, but you've got it where, well, in my book, my best 11, Kanchelskis is in it. I mean, world class. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Seki Trevor was nearly there, but Kanchelskis, for when he was here for that 12 months, was unbelievable. Scored against the team across the park as well, a couple, which puts him in folklore, but what a player. Had everything, pace, skill, could score goals, could assist. Had everything for me.
He did have everything, and as you said, not a player that was here for a long time, but he's an absolute cult hero and one of the fans' favourites, isn't he, amongst them?
I think he was that good, and as you say, it seems that he scored against. We've just seen the hat-trick there, but as I say, he scored 2 at Anfield, which was fabulous. But every time he got the ball, something would happen. Himself. I was youth coach at Everton when he was there. And what I used to love about him, half an hour after everyone finished, he's practising shooting left and right foot, and we had a great shot on him, and some of the goals he scored. But if you're a wide player and then you can still cut in and hit the ball the way he did, I mean, what a player. But as I say, he's in my old-time Everton 11, but again, he left his mark, shall we say, and people still talk about him now.
He's an absolute legend here, as I said, and that's what we love to see. What a player. But we have just quickly, Ronnie, as well, got Spurs or Wickham in the next round if we beat Sheffield Wednesday here tonight. How big of an incentive is that, to get through?
I think it is. It's massive. Whether it's Tottenham should get through. All the big clubs, but you get that. But we'll be in the quarter final of the FA Cup. I mean, if that's not an incentive, I don't know what is. And especially playing at home. You always say about a cup draw. We got a home draw, and then they'll say, well, who've we got? Now, if we get through tonight, either of them, we can beat Tottenham. We're setting a marker down to other teams, and if we can come in and we can beat them, as I say, quarter final of the FA Cup, and we were talking about it before about the Twin Towers. They're not at Wembley, but you start thinking of it, and then it's up to the players if you get a decent draw. But as I say, up to now, we've been professional against Rotherham, hopefully similar tonight, and then as I say, a home draw against whoever. Just bring it on, and as I say, I think we can get to the quarter final of the cup. You know what I mean? Don't want to talk too soon,
Me and Ronnie getting a bit carried away here, but that's what we love. We're two big blue noses, it's going to happen. But there is a real feel-good factor all around the club at the moment. Here is some of that good stuff from training this week. Check it out.
They've got to get a bit quicker, Joe. Coming in the box now. Yeah. Oh, you're making a miss. Oh, making a miss. Fatigue. Here's your mate. You got to stop your mate. Unstoppable. Andre.
So spirits seem high in the training ground down at Finch Farm. How important is that in getting a good cup run going?
No, you've got to have a good dressing room, and again, at Finch Farm with training, you've got to go in and enjoy the training. I mean, that's the whole point of, you get match fitness, a serious part of it, about tactics and other things and strengths and weaknesses, but you've got to have you've got to go in with a smile on your face. And as I say, the camaraderie, the banter is everything for the dressing room. If you're in there and you want to go out there and battle together, it's part of saying if you kick him, you're kicking me. And that's, you've got to have that mentality in the dressing room. If he kicks one of us, he's kicking all of us. But looking at that footage there, absolutely fabulous, and nice to see players playing with a smile on their face.
Yeah. So we just saw them there like a little shooting game, little shooting drill. Was there anything that when you were playing for Everton, you had a standout game or something?
We used to do again with the shooting drill, but it used to be if you missed, you had to stay out till you scored. So some of them who wasn't the best you know, from left back keeper, whoever it was hilarious because again. They'll be trying even harder, and you'd be sort of out the way. You know,
you'd be driving home, and the second choice goalkeeper's
well, we used to play at Belfield, and again, he was like a little embankment there. So we'd be there watching them, and again, as it goes on, it'll be whoa, and then cheer, and then when it gets down to 2 or 3, it can still go on. And you're just having a little Bob there, Bob Lennon there, very good friend of mine, groundsman at Everton, keeps the pitch unbelievable, and he's just giving us a wave. Lovely man.
Top job of the pitch tonight, regardless of the weather. We've actually got a decent pitch here tonight, you know, no snow on it. There's been snow all around the country.
It's great. Now, Bob, you know, he's just been letting on there, but it's lovely.
Bad about him now.
But I always used to do, you know, look at the pitch and always make a comment. Fabulous. I mean, no excuses. I mean, we keep saying in our day, if you looked at some of the pitches that we played on in our day, you know, it'd be like Southport Beach. But you sort of look at this now and say, no excuses. It's a bit cold tonight, but look at that pitch. Absolutely fantastic. But going back to the shooting, as I say, you need to mix it up. You don't want to get bored in training. You've got to be fit. You've got to do an end product, obviously, with matches and whatever. But the shooting on, you know, all the time and playing short-sided games. You know, if you're doing 4 or 5 sides, and you know, we used to do a knockout. Which again was a big thing. You know, you wanted to win. If it's you 5 against another 5, you wanted to get the final, you wanted to win it. So it's all winning. You know what I mean? It's getting a mentality where you want to win. It doesn't matter what you play. We used to play table tennis there, and honestly, I've seen, well, not fights, but I've seen it where, but you know, because you want to win, and again, anything to do with a football pitch in training, you want to win, and you know, that's the way it's usually set up, and it's good to see. Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed that fight is here again at Goodison Park. Our last game actually wasn't here at Goodison Park; it was at Molineux. We got on against Wolves. We picked up a big 3 points on the road.
Here's Iwobi. Now James Rodriguez trying to pick out Luca Dean. He's done just that. That's the cutback for Iwobi. That's the shot, and that's the goal. Everton in front. 5 minutes gone here at Molineux. No recognised striker. Well, does it matter? Alex Iwobi hammers home. Took a slight deflection on the way. Who cares? Everton lead at Wolves. Iwobi involved with the initial build-up. James Rodriguez, who else, picking out Luca Dean, and the cutback there for Iwobi to hammer it beyond Rui Patricio. Here's the Wolves corner. Yemi Mina got something on it. Ait Nouri goes past Decore and drills one in, and Wolves are level. Well. Ruben Neves with the finish. Six in the box for Everton, but it only finds the head of Dendoncker. Gomez picks up, sends it back in. It's a decent one. There's Keane. What a header! Brilliant from Michael Keane. Well, he turned 28 yesterday, and that is the best birthday present he could have asked for. What a thumping header to give Everton the lead. 14 minutes to play. And Everton are back in front at Molineux.
Great 3 points picked up on the road at Molineux the other week. So in that game, Ronnie, it was quite interesting because Everton had no recognised striker. We kind of had a false 9. Tonight, presumably Calvert-Lewin is playing, so we'll go back to the original formation. But they did well in that new shape, didn't they, last week?
Well, you know, before the ball was kicked, he won the tactical battle. I think it was a bit of genius off Carlo. I mean, I think it took Wolves by a little bit of a surprise. And again, you know, the movement, the passing, I just think everything about that performance was one of the best performances. Again, against the Wolves team, who, you know, came up last year, took everyone by surprise by the football he played. But to win at Molineux the way we did, you know, really restrict them to almost nothing. You know, it just shows you how well we've been playing. And just looking at the Gomez cross there, I mean, I'd have been happy days with that with my left foot. I mean, that's what it's about, you know, get crosses in. And what a header off Michael Keane. you know, you're looking at people in there, and I think that's what you know we're bringing to the team now from set pieces. You know, you get a bit of quality in, and we've got players in there who can edit and finish them off. And as I say, the Michael Keane header, I think you know, Calvert-Lewin's at Tottenham was a bit special, but I think Michael Keane was, as I say, from a cross like that from Gomez, finished it off brilliantly. Really great performance.
Well, it's his most prolific season for goals, isn't it, Michael Keane? And that's got to be down to the balls into the box. I mean, we've got Luca Dean, we've got Sigurdsson, we've got James Rodriguez, who's taking corners now. And, you know, James is in the starting lineup again tonight, as he was against Rotherham. Do you reckon the Sheffield Wednesday players will be kind of a bit taken aback to see that James Rodriguez is playing? Well,
I think, as you said, I think again tonight, that's a strong lineup. And I think, again, you know, their manager, I don't think I'd have thought that. You know, you'd be thinking of the ways. But as you said, with set pieces, we've got so many players who can do it. Get the quality in there. And we've got fellas that say you can finish it off. So set piece wise, you know, even Aldgate's chipped in, and you've got, you know, Mina has, and then you know, you go around the team. We're getting defence, you know, defenders scoring goals. You know, sort of every, you know, good Everton side have always had defenders chipping in. You know, going back, you know, years and years, you know, that's part of a successful team. But as you say, with tonight, I mean, I think we can, you know, give Wednesday trouble tonight with the quality, you know, in them areas. You know, the players who take the set pieces and free kicks as well. I mean, you know, they'll be wary of giving anything 25, 30 yards out. You know, by the quality that we've got on the pitch tonight.
So obviously Everton have got considerably better quality. You know, we're pushing for the top place in the Premier League. Sheffield Wednesday are down the bottom end of the Championship. You know, they've got to try and level the playing field somehow. How do they do that?
Well, again, it's commitment. It's usually commitment, real good organisation. And if you're off the pace, you know, as I said with Rotherham, but I'll go through maybe other teams just as an example with, you know, Wolves only winning 1-0 at Chorley. And then you've got Man City were losing virtually up to the last 10 minutes. And I mean, you know, what a performance that was at Cheltenham. Now, I don't know what odds they were at the bookmakers, but Cheltenham, you know, I watched the game live and absolutely unbelievable. And they had a fella, Tozer, at the back, who was like Brian LeBone at the back. He just edited everything in fantastic. Now this is Man City, who spent, you know, a lot of money to get the squad that they've got. They got through, but they had a bit of a fright. And I thought Pep Guardiola was good. Again, you know, giving Cheltenham, you know, all the plaudits and all that, which was lovely. But as I say, you don't take a cup tie seriously, and you'll be out the competition. But tonight, as I say, with that lineup, hopefully we have that little bit of luck. Because I mean, you don't want Sheffield Wednesday, you know, getting battered for 89 minutes and scored in the last minute. We want to go out there, as I say, have that little bit of luck. But as you've said, with crossing, you know, and set pieces, just get a bit of quality in and around that penalty area. Yeah,
well, fingers crossed. Well, cheers, Ronnie. Remember, any questions for Ronnie? # Everton Live over on Twitter. Kick-off's in around half an hour's time. Well, Everton men's side won away on the road the other day. Back here in Liverpool, Everton ladies had a great win against Bristol City.
Faye Bryson, former Everton player, the Bristol City #2. She's lost out to Graham. Everton on the attack now. And it comes from Sorensen. And on the end of it is Izzy Christiansen into the roof of the net. Well, she was not going to miss from there, was Izzy Christiansen. Everton on the charge again with Sorensen. We got the cross in for the opening goal. In the same position again, finds Christensen again, and this time a really fine save by Haaland. Nearly 13 minutes played. Everton lead 1-0, looking for a second. McGill feeds it through to Christensen, who plays it back. Graham with the shot, and it's hit a City body and deflected wide for a corner. Turner brings it forward. Cross comes in from Rasso, and Haaland fumbles it and is tapped in by Simone McGill. Nightmare for the City standing keeper from an unmissable position. This time Simone McGill makes it Everton 2, Bristol City 0. Can Bryson get back there for City? She needs to, because Everton are in real danger of getting a third here. In it comes, and a body gets in there for Bristol City just in time. Everton on the attack with Sorensen. In comes the low cross. McGill keeps it in. Can she roll it back into the danger zone? She does, and it's just tapped goalwards by Clemeron and cleared off the line for City. Graham pings it through, and Allen just has to get it away. Gazo runs through for City. Can she take the shot on? Slips it across instead to Salmon, but the block comes in. 2-0 Everton lead. Salmon spins. Lovely footwork by her. Still holds on to it, wriggles it through. Can Wellings get the shot away? Clemeron there for Everton, or did it go onto a Bristol City hand? Salmon drills it in, cleared again, real scramble. Everton hold firm. Christensen now tries to bring it away and is back with McKeever. McGill wins it back for Everton, finds Graham. First touch let her down, tries to roll in Christensen. Can she get there? Oh, into the far corner of the net from Izzy Christensen. Second goal of the afternoon, beautifully teed up. In comes the corner, all the way through and into the back of the net. Finnegan is claiming the final touch on it. Salmon with the shot, rare chance for Bristol City, and McKeever drops on it. It's finished at Walton Hall Park. Everton 4, Bristol City 0.
A great win for Everton women's side there against Bristol City. Sarah, you look like you enjoyed that one, jumping up behind the goal.
Yeah, for all those Everton fans that might watch our girls at home on the FA Player and BBC whenever we're on, you'll usually see me lingering somewhere, jumping up and down as the ball's about to hit the back of the net. But no, as you say, a fantastic win for the girls. 4-0, clean sheet again, and it's exactly what you want to see. Very disappointed to see the game cancelled, of course, midweek and today. They were due to play Tottenham, cancelled due to safety reasons. But yeah, brilliant way to start 2021 for the girls.
Yeah, well, great win, 4 goals. And we've got a new signing as well, haven't we?
Yes, we certainly have, and somebody that, you know, fans will be very familiar with. Jill Scott, who is, of course, one of the most capped England players of all time, a real legend at this club before she went on to City, and she's won just about everything that there is to win in the women's game. Her name holds a lot of weight in the women's game and in the world of football, and yeah, I think just for fans to see her returning to Everton, where she was some 7 years plus ago, more than that actually, it's fantastic to see. So delighted, and I think she'll be a great addition. Brings that winning mentality, of course, back to the club as well, and Everton women is definitely a team going in the right direction, so very excited at the moment.
Yeah, it's all going well for the men's team and the women's team. Well, you're going to be asking questions to Ronnie in just a second. Before that, we're going to see the best of Bob Latchford, who turns 70 this week.
Evertonians have always revered their number 9s. Dean, Lawton, Hickson, Vernon, Young and Royal all wore it with huge distinction, and so did the man who followed them, Bob Latchford. Big Bob came to Everton in 1974 from Birmingham City in a record-breaking deal that took Howard Kendall and Archie Styles to St Andrews. He ended his first full season, 1974-75, as Everton's leading scorer, and would repeat the feat in each of the following 4 campaigns, including, of course, his famous 30-goal year. The Daily Express newspaper had offered £10,000 to any player who could bag 30 goals in the First Division in the 1977-78 season, and with 1 game to go against Chelsea at Goodison Park, Latchford was on 28. With just 12 minutes remaining, he was still 1 short, but then Everton were awarded a penalty. There was only going to be 1 taker, and Goodison Park exploded when Latchford slammed it past Peter Bonetti. Everton won 6-0, and Latchford had his prize. He also by then had his first England caps, and would net 5 goals in 12 games for his country. In total, Bob Latchford scored 138 goals in 289 games for Everton, leaving him 3rd on the all-time list behind the immortal Dixie Dean and the man he passed the number 9 jersey on to, Graham Sharp.
Bob Latchford there, one of the greatest ever to wear that royal blue, turned 70 earlier this week, so happy birthday to him. Now, Ronnie, you know Bob very well, fantastic player, one of the greatest ever, but we want to talk to you about your favourite player. We know who that was, Alan Ball. Talk to me about him. I believe we were talking off air before, and it's fascinating stuff. You're talking about how you used to clean Alan's boots. Wow.
Yeah, it's when I first joined the club. I mean, when you were 15, you had jobs that you were given as an apprentice, and I'd played for England schoolboys with Mick Buck, and anyway, joined, and it was a bit of a prize to get it. So next man I had to do the football kit, obviously the first team, the training kit, and also the boots. So obviously with Bawley with his white boots, I mean, I was sky high. I was the first to get a pair of boots off him. But to do your idol's boots, I mean, I always say about it when I was, I was 10, and where the Walker playing field is, there used to be like a lamppost, and I used to look at Bawley, and I was only 10, and I thought, well, in 5 years' time, I'm going to be playing like alongside, there and doing your boots. I mean, you can always dream, but what a player, what a man. It was a privilege for me to do his boots. I mean, that's why he looked so good when he went out. But a
Them
player,
white Hummels, yeah.
but a player and everything about it. But he always talked to me about how I'm playing, what I'm doing, and that's where I think from any era, if the first team players are good with the kids, which I'd say apprentices in our days and academy lads now, that's the bond that you have at a club. And in our day, as I say, to do Bawley's boots in the way, as a player and the way he kicked on, and obviously 21 won the World Cup, and it was so rounded. I mean, it was a privilege, to be honest. But as I say, as a player for this club, absolutely fantastic, and the best I've seen anyway.
Part of the Holy Trinity, of course. One of the absolute greatest players ever.
Well, all of them say, Sarah, if you ever asked them, I mean, Howard, God love him, Colin, Joe Royle, all said, I've asked them all the time, who's the best player you ever played alongside? Bawley comes up every single time, and he always have a smile on the face because that's how good he was. I mean, absolutely, iconic for me as a player. But as a football club, that for me is Everton Football Club, having a player like that wearing that royal blue jersey.
He is, and as you say, it's just iconic, isn't it? That number 8, those Hummel boots, the white boots, it's just fantastic to see. And we have got some fan questions in for you at home as well, Ronnie. So you just have to bear with me as I try and unlock my phone with these freezing cold hands.
The professionals that we are, said it's about 2 below, but we'll carry on.
We'll get there, won't we, Ronnie? We'll get through it. No, but we have had lots of interaction for you at home. One of the first ones was about Bawley, but of course we'll get back to that one because we've just spoken about the great man himself. This is going to be an interesting one. Sally from Winchester wants to know, have you forgiven Clive Thomas yet?
Well, Sally, only that I'm a gentleman, I won't swear.
I thought it might be a bit dangerous to ask you this one
every single day I think of him. No, you can't, Sally. I mean, for me, he was a cheat. Yeah. I put that in my book. Autobiography is out now, Blue Nose.
Blue Nose,
but, you can't. I mean, I can't. I and I know all my family don't. I think every Evertonian I talk to, but he cheated
bitter,
us.
Aren't we?
Well,
we were wronged, and I think that's.
Well, I don't think we're bitter. I think we're always right.
We are right. That's right.
But I think something like that, as I say, being so close and him, as I say, cheating, and then years after he's admitted it that. He was wrong, but it's too late. It's too late for Everton. It's too late for me. He cost me obviously a cup final medal, and we beat Man United in the League Cup that year at Old Trafford 3-0. So they wouldn't have any fear for us. So as I say, as a man even, and I'm not getting too controversial, I hope, he's never even admitted it. I'd have more respect for him. He just come out and said, you know what, I made a mistake. Yeah. And he's never done it. I don't think he'll ever admit it. No. But he doesn't have to. We know it was wrong. Yes. And we know he was wrong. Yeah. And next question.
I like that.
Good question, Sally.
And if you're watching, Clive, if you want to get in touch with Ronnie.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, if you want to meet us for a straightener. Anyway.
But you are quite right, I think how different things could have been, and you for yourself, you're an Evertonian as well, Ronnie, aren't you? To be able to go on and win a trophy like that with your football club.
Well, we'd have been the first team that had got to Wembley twice. Obviously, we got to the League Cup final, but Liverpool, again, it's hard to say, but they were a good side, and 4 months after that, they won the European Cup. Yeah. So we deserved to beat them. We outplayed them. They knew they got out of jail by not good football. but by a referee that never played the game for me. And as you've said, if VAR was now, you know, we'd have all been different. But I just think, again, as I say, hand on heart, you know, he doesn't get a Christmas card off me. But it's something, as I say, that it won't go away. It won't go away.
It won't, and I'm sure we'll have.
I'm still getting therapy though. The therapy's, you know, I'm doing well.
Yeah, I was going to say, me and you will carry on this conversation after. I think we'll have a good rant, Ronnie, won't we? We have got a couple more questions for you as well. Okay, I like this one. Cats NSNO wants to know, who was your best mate at Everton?
Well, my best mate, as I said briefly, it was there was a few actually, but Mick Buck came with me. He played for Manchester, Salford, and he supported Man United, and I actually got him to sign for Everton. I was saying it's the best, you know, team on the planet, and Buck, God love him, you know, he's not with us anymore. He loved Everton. He loved Everton, as I say, he's an Evertonian. I wasn't born an Evertonian, but ended up an Evertonian. But we had a little click there with Lindsay, myself, Kingy, Terry Darricott and Steve Sarge.
Wow.
And I think if anyone was in West Derby Village going back a few years, I think they'll have heard us about half an hour before they'd seen us. But great times. I mean, again, a bond where, you know, Herbie was his nickname, Terry Darricott. We all come through the ranks, you know, through the academy, Sarge, Lindsay, myself, Ken McNaught as well. But it's always good, and that's what I'm saying, where I think before, you know, looking at Finch Farm, you've got to have a good dressing room, and our dressing room, as I said to you before, you know, you can play football. If you want to fight, we'll have a fight, and the old thing about it, you need a bonding. And as I say, you kick one, you kick all of us. But as I say, Buck was a real, you know, they used to call us the twins because he used to stay at our house. You know, instead of going back to Salford, he used to stay at ours, and we got up to some things years ago. But that's another story, and that's another book. But it's just, you know, going back to nice times, as I say, and lovely people. You know, we see Lindsay when he comes back, and again, it's memories that you cherish forever.
Fantastic stuff, and I think you're going to have plenty of people wanting to get hold of your book after hearing this and the exciting stories you've got in there, and I look forward to the next one.
It's on sale, actually. Well, I'm doing a second, but it's on sale at Everton stores, by the way, and online at healththroughsport.co.uk, called Blue Nose, by the way.
Absolutely, I've read it myself, got my signed copy.
I know you read all the good books, Sarah. I know that. I know you're a clever lady.
Well, Ronnie, we have got the game as well just around the corner now, so I've got to get Nearly. Tell you what, it all goes on Everton Live. This is why.
Now, if you had me kit on then, I'd have heard of that.
This is what happens. They know I'm going to ask for a prediction, and they know that you're going to say Everton are going to win. And
I'll go tonight. I'll go for 2-0.
2-0 Everton. Goal scorers from you?
That'll do me. Well, I'll go for. I think Richarlison will get off the mark. And the only thing I'm saying about free kicks and that, I think we'll score from a free kick. But it'd be lovely, as I say, if Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin can score. I mean, you know, it's that confidence, and it'll set us up fantastic for Leicester. And as I say, it's getting us into the 5th round. So hopefully tonight, fingers crossed, we'll do the job, and we can get a couple of goal scorers like that'll do me.
Definitely, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well, of course, a Sheffield United fan. Well, they didn't like that answer there, Ronnie, I tell you.
That was Sheffield Wednesday, by the way. They're kicking it off. They just heard me tip us to win 2-0.
I think it is, but no, it is all going a bit wild here now. Kick-off is just around the corner. Ronnie, I just want to say thank you very much.
No, thanks very much, sir. I'm going to shout to them. If you shoot like that tonight, we're through to the 5th round. They're smashing it into Bullens Road and everything.
Tell you what, they always keep us on our toes.
By the way, are we insured?
Well, Ronnie, we better get you to your seat before you get injured here in these last second warm-ups. But thank you so much, Ronnie, for your time today. It's been a pleasure to have you back here.
No, lovely to see you, sir. I'm Rich. Lovely to see you, and as I say, hope we get a good win and we can all enjoy the rest of the week.
Absolutely, and somebody else who will be hoping that we can enjoy a win today will be, of course, Don Carlo Ancelotti himself, and here's what he had to say ahead of this game.
Hi Carlo, how are you?
I'm fine. You?
Yeah, very well, thank you. It's obviously been a while since Everton were last playing a competitive game, with the game last weekend having to be postponed. So has that given you more of an opportunity to rest players, injuries to recover? How are you shaping up for this weekend?
Yes, I think it was a good time. It's true that we didn't have game, but I think we used this time to put in better condition the player that had problem before. We have back Calvert-Lewin for the game. Unfortunately, we have some players out like Gabaman, Alan, Delph, Digne, Iwobi, and and Konku. But the others are in good condition, ready to play this game, and ready to compete in this competition that is important, because the FA Cup, as we said, is really important for us.
When you look at the season as it's panning out, how highly do you prize the FA Cup now in terms of an opportunity to perhaps win a trophy this season?
Yeah, we know how important is the FA Cup in this country. It's really important competition. We had problem in the first game where we had difficulties. I think that we have to approach well this game. Sheffield Wednesday is coming with all the strength that they have. They are a strong team, physical team, and they want to compete with us. We have to be ready for this.
Well, hopefully he'll be the winning manager by the end of the night. Kick-off just around the corner. What's that, quarter of an hour to go? So we've come to the end of the show. Everton Live is wrapping up once more. We're back again on Wednesday. Leicester in the league.
We're here a lot, aren't we, this week? Next week, I should say.
I know, there's a lot going on, isn't there? But tonight, let's see then, FA Cup. Second to bottom in the Championship. Everton flying in the Premier League. Surely we've got to get through tonight.
Oh, it has to be a win, doesn't it, Rich? And you know, given some of the shooting there, we nearly had our heads taken off by a couple of the
Callum
balls
Patterson
in the wall.
leading the line for them. All of his shots have been coming over here, which is reassuring for Robin Olsen. But
well, we say that now, and they'll probably score an absolute cracker. But no, in all seriousness, I think it has to be an Everton win tonight. When you look at the team that Carlo Ancelotti's fielded, it shows a statement of intent. It shows how seriously we're taking this cup competition, and hopefully, in less than 2 hours, we'll see our name in the hat for the 5th round, and it will be all smiles.
Well, fingers crossed. Kick-off just around the corner. Remember, full commentary is on evertonfc.com for Everton v Sheffield Wednesday, and the winner of this match gets either Wickham or Tottenham in the next round. We'll be back on Wednesday. I'll see you then.